Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to a new video. Today I'll be telling the past of my cones. So let's start with the small little ones and then after we go do. So this one comes from my local pool. I asked if I could have it because why not? And so I got it. This one comes from my school. It's from the gym at my school. And that's where I got it. It's a artifact of my school, artifact of my childhood actually a bit, just for my school. So all of these, this one, 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 that one, that one, and that one are from a store. These come from a thrift store. I bought them for €5 for all, and and as you can see, they become a bit dirty because all sandy, and luckily I have a solution for that. So I've been saving rainwater and I put it in this jug. Don't worry, this wasn't any chemicals, there was demineralized water in that, so that's not dangerous to use for water holding. I'll be using that in the summer to clean the cones, which is a necessary thing once well. So those are the mini cones. So let's head on to the small cones. So let's start with the small cones. So we got over here, we got these, and as you can see, I placed them in this rack. Because that's a bit more space efficient and it's cooler, I thought myself. So let's start with this one. This one I got from a construction worker. That was unloading his truck, and I asked if I could have it, and he said yes. And we got these two. These two are actually brand new. The price tag was still on them. These come from a dumpster at the garage. They toss them out, tossing the cones out because they couldn't be used anymore. So in Netherlands, they have to check your equipment once a year, and if in that year the equipment is still good, you get to keep it. Can you still use it for a year until the next checkup? And after that checkup, you can't use them anymore. Same goes this cone, and these two come from the same dumpster. This is my first small cone. I got this one at the same time as two other small ones. And this one comes from a guy. I had two cones standing at his yard, and I asked if I could have them. He said yes. He wasn't using them anymore, so I could have them. Then we got this cone. This cone comes from a dumpster. As you can see, it's a bit broken. I'm going to fix it probably. This one comes from my school. They were tossing them out, so I could have it. And these cones are popular because these cones are used in gyms. This cone comes from my other school. And that's why I got this one. And as you can see, it's become a bit dirty. And then we got this one. This one is a cone I got from a gardener. That's really cool actually, cause Then this cone I got from what was called I don't know where it was. Let me think. I think I bought this one. I don't know actually. I kind of forgot where I got this one. So we got these. This one comes from my scrapyard. As you can see, it's a bit broken, still a bit dirty, so I'm going to clean it. This one comes from the scrapyard. I bring my metal and I ask if I could have it because it has been laying at the same time between the bins where you can play plastic. And I asked if I could have it, and they said yes, of course. Then we got this one. These two I got from the same guy. These two. This one is a bit more sun used because they were stacked. And I asked if I could have them, and he said yes. So that's for these two. This one comes from. Didn't go karting, but I went to an indoor climbing forest. I don't know what it's called indoor climbing thing, and in the same facility also had karting, and I asked if I could have a cone, and they gave me this cone. Then we have this cone. This cone, I don't know where it comes from. I actually kind of forgot. Same as for the other cones, but I think I can remember that this cone comes from. Yeah, I don't know actually. Let me think. Yeah, actually great. I don't know. I really don't know. That's a problem, because I'm telling you the past of my traffic cone, so... Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Oh, yeah, this one comes from the water. Yeah, that's where I got him. This one, I think. Or was it the other one? I don't know, I can't remember. So let's head on to the larger cones, and I'll see you when I'm done placing them. So for some reason it smells like cat shit here. There's an explanation for it. The cat of the neighbors just shit in our yard again. And we already throw a bucket of water over him, but I think we have cats on our own. But these don't shit in our yard. So yeah. So let's start with the cones, with the bigger cones. So we got this one. This one comes from the water. It was really muddy, so I already cleaned it because I also didn't stack. It was like a thick layer of sludge on that. And over here we got this cone. This is the cone that comes from. This cone comes from a horse place where you train horses, and I got it, and it was still intact. And then I was doing something in front of my house. I don't really have a big front yard. The front yard is only about this thick. That's maybe 2.5 cones in width thick, because we don't know. That's a bit sad actually. That's only so thick, but so we got this cone. This cone comes from people I used to go to, and same is for this cone. And there's this cone with. It looks like someone cut it for something. I don't know. Try to use it as a hopper or something. So we got this cone. This cone I traded with some gardeners because they were. This is the only cone they had, and I traded one of these cones over there. I'll sell them soon. So this cone comes from a field. I found it a few years back. I was in a field of a farmer, and I asked the farmer if this was their cone, and he said, well, there were some people yesterday they're lighting fireworks from it to send to the sky, and these people were trespassing on my property, so I made sure they were going, and when I asked it, and they said you can take the cone because it's not mine, and they left it. So here we go over here. We got this cone. You can see it has some writing in it. This comes from a motorcycle company. This cone, I don't know. Yeah, the guy gives motorcycle lessons, so you get your motorcycle license. And this cone comes from a theme park with a pirate theme park, and they had a real big stack for parking, and I asked if I can have one, and they said, yeah, sure, why not. So this one comes from a car wash. I traded it with another cone. This is a really cool cone, it comes from the car wash, and it's a really cool cone because I never seen one like that before, and that makes them rare. Then we got this cone. This cone comes also from the water. I tried to clean it a bit already, but it didn't really work, and the inside, look at that, man. Yeah. Then we got this cone. So once a year we have something called the chicken run. That's where people come together and run a few laps around our town. And that's called the chicken run because our town is known for their chickens. So we got this cone, and they were planning to toss this cone out because already had missing a stripe. And I asked if I could have one of these cones, and I actually had more of these cones, but this one comes from my other place. But they had more. These said, well, we're planning to throw this one out, so you can have this one. So they come with this one. This one comes from a cleaning company. I traded it with a big cone because I didn't have other cones to trade, like small cones I couldn't trade. So yeah, that's why I have this cone. And this cone came first, and then they came, a few years later this cone came. And they used this cone so much, even the grabbing. This one is a bit newer, so here is the grabbing a bit better. This one, the grabbing wore off. Then we got this one. This comes from the guy that used it to grow its plants faster. So when you place a thing above a plant, it will grow faster because it wants to reach sunlight. And it's when you place something above it, it will think it's still underground, so it will grow faster for some reason. Then we got this cone. This cone I got from a bricklayer. I'm gonna clean it soon because it's all like cementy, and I don't like cementy on it. Now this cone comes from my dad's place. My dad used to works at a place where they do all kinds of stuff. They do they search out clothes. I don't know what else they do. And they were cleaning the place my dad works, and it tossed this one out. And I just grabbed it out the dumpster, and I said, "This one is in the dumpster. Can I take it?" And the guy went, "Yeah, everything that's in the dumpster you can just take." Then we got this one. I got this one. This is an old one. A few Trafficon videos back. Trafficon collection videos back, it was still intact, but I accidentally dropped it, and as you can see, it was made of plastic, not rubber. So plastic disintegrates. So this isn't even food grade plastic because it disintegrates into little pieces, as you can see. Then we got this cone. This was an abandoned cone. It was on the road, and it probably fell off a truck, and it was laying there. And it has been moved a few times by people because people are kicking it around. Or yeah, it was close by school, so people for biking, they just take out their feet and then just kick the cone around. Got probably hit by a few cars on the way, but it was a left cone, and eventually I just took it. So I had 3 of these cones. These come from the dumpster at the garage, same as those little ones. And I traded one of the cones with the cones from the gardener with 1 cone. But I have like 4 of these cones. And these have that. This one has also that. And this one also have the standoffs. Some didn't have the standoffs. Yeah, those were standing there, I think. Yeah. So we got... the cat shit stinks real bad, man. I'm going to remove it later. So we got these cones. These cones have 1 stripe here, and this one has a stripe here and here. So apparently these cones are rare. I have 4 of them. These 2 come from the same person as this one and this one. But yeah, this one comes from a guy that was cleaning out a shack, and I saw he had cones, and asked if you can have, and I said, oh yeah, of course. Not doing anything with them, so I could have them. And apparently, these cones used to have barricade lights, and it's really sad I don't have them, because that would make them a lot rarer. So these cones, you can buy them. You have barricade lights that will fit over them, and you place the barricade lights along like this. So yeah. This one I found in the forest. That's where I found it. It has been there for a few months, and after a few months I was like, oh, mine now. I was like laying all the way in the like leaves and things. So now go over here. This is one of my first cones. This two, and the cone I taped with the clear tape are my first 3 cones. I got them at the same time because we got them at a flea market, and that's where I got them. Mom bought them for me. That's almost these cones. I almost have 7 years, 8 years. I have these cones, and yeah. Then over here we got this cone. This cone I traded with a guy on a fish market. The guy was really nice and really polite, and I asked if I could have, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And we got this cone, and this cone come from the same guy. So I got these two. So yeah. And I hear in the distance, I hear car alarm. So or think that there's a new electric car and it goes off even if a flight touches the car. So yeah. So these three cones are new cones. These aren't real new. So this one and I don't know which, this one and this one come from people I used to go to. And this one comes from a painter. And I asked if I could have one. He said yes. So this is my first cone with stripes. I bought it for 50 cents at a yard sale. And yeah, event accord, and I got this. This cone comes from the water. It looks a bit cleaner. It looks cleaner as last time because I washed it in the summer. Which I'm gonna do this summer again. I hope I get 1,000 subscribers soon, or I'll just make a long video and I make lots of parts of cleaning my traffic cones. But yeah, so we got this cone, and I got from actually this cone comes from a company that does paving and gardening. I asked if I could have it. They didn't go accord, so I offered to trade. And they went accord with that. And I forgot which cone I traded. I thought I had, I don't know, I had a cone double and I traded it. So we got this cone with the black base. This one comes from a fair. So once a year we have a fair in my place. And to get cones. They have sometimes the people have cones and sometimes not nice if I could have one. There was a guy who was selling candy and I asked if I can have some, if I could have the cone, and they said, oh yeah, you can have it. And then we got this cone. It is from the same company, but this is a different type because it has different stripes and this one is newer. This comes from the NS, of the Dutch railroad, 3M. I got it from a guy. I traded it with one of the cones. Traffic cone Jam has from Poland. Like one of these cones I traded it for, and he went to court. And this one, and I traded it. So those were the small cones. So let's head on and go to the big cones and place those. And how do you like the shelves, people? Like really cool, huh? So let's stack them all back up, place them back, and let's do the big cones. So let's head on to the big cones. As you can see, I placed them already. So okay, let's start. These two cones come from the same place. They were tossed them out. I don't know. No, they weren't tossing them out. They were using them, and I asked if I could have them. They said yes, because they were going to be gone soon. This one comes from the horse place where they're training horses. The same horse place as I get the other one, but this one was in their dumpster, and I asked if I could have it, and I said yes. So I traded this one at a gas station for one of these cones, because I have a lot of these. And they went to court, so, and they agreed, so I have this cone. So over here we got this cone. This is black cone. It's also black cone. So the guy used to works at this company, and I don't know. I don't think he worked at the company, but he got these 2 cones, and I asked if I could have one. And he said in the court, and I traded the other one. Because he didn't want to trade this one because he liked it and he needed it for a short period of time. And I traded it the cone, and now I got this black one. Then we got this one. This one comes from Germany. This comes from a abandoned nuclear power plant. Some people I know took it from when they were exploring. Usually I think I'm like, just leave stuff there. But I didn't know they were coming home with this, bringing this to me. And I'm really happy, actually, that I got this one. Yeah. So we got this one. This cone I traded for one other cones. I don't know which one I traded. But this is the... With this company, I got one of these cones. I traded it, and with someone. I had one of these cones. I got another cone of this company, and I traded it for the black cone. And I found this cone in another place than where I traded the black cone, so I didn't steal it back or something. That's a bit. That's not what I do. I don't steal them back. It's not cool, not good. But it's from the same company. It is a bit older than the cone I traded with them. The cone I traded with them was, I think, intact. Was intact striping, I believe. So yeah, this is my first big cone. As you can see, this was an abandoned cone. It was in the water for a while. And sadly it's broken, but I hope I can fix it up in the time with some glue or something else. This is my first big cone. I like it. Then we got this cone. So I used to work at a hardware store, and they had cones. And I asked and I was talking with my colleagues then. I don't work anymore. Because I had only 3 months. It's a schoolwork, so I have to do it for school, and wasn't paid. So I was talking to colleagues, and they asked me, "What do you do for a hobby?" And I said, "I collect traffic cones." Oh yeah. Oh, we have some traffic cones. You can have this one. And actually, I'm really glad they gave me one, because this one actually has traffic cones in the logo. Please don't call that company. Huh? So this cone comes from a gardener. I asked if I could have one, because I like to do gardening later. But I'm not really sure if I do want to do gardening, because also roadworks is something I like. But yeah, also time I like gardening real much, and you can see at the garden. You see lots of plants. I love plants, but I don't think it's really becoming my job. Or it is, and I'll be just collecting cones as a gardener. So I got this cone. This cone I got at a family reunion for someone else. That's from the guys. I got all the other small cones. They were having a family reunion, and the owner of the house works at this place. This is the Dutch waterline company. This is the only company that does the water, gives you bills and such. This company, and I got one of them. Well, actually I got 2 cones of them, but I'll get to that later. So this is another cone, but this cone I just have standoffs. This cone comes from a restaurant, it's a restaurant in an old bank. And they were having this one, and I asked if I could have it, and they said yes. So this one comes from a company that... this is for the company that replaced one of these poles, actually. So one of these poles got replaced by the company at this cone. And I asked if I could have the cone and the pole. I asked if I could have the cone, and I asked, "Do you want the pole too? Because we're replacing them." And I said yes. So I got this cone. I could have it because it does have striping, and usually in roadworks or Netherlands you can't use you can use them in day, but these were also at night because they were entirely repaving the street, so they had to use reflective. So they gave it to me because they couldn't use it anymore because it doesn't have reflective stripes anymore. So then we got this one. This one comes from a dumpster, and it's a bit actually after this dumpster I went making videos of I went dumpster diving. I should have done that video too because the dumpster was so full of all kinds of stuff. The dumpster contained a lot of scrap metal. And I asked if I could take it, and I said yes. And they say everything in the dumpster you could take. That at least that makes us less pay because the dumpsters get weighed and how much thing you got in the how much of trash you got in the dumpster. In construction dumpsters, you have to weigh them. They get weighed, and the weight of trash you have, that's the amount you have to pay to them for taking away trash as such. So they said you could take everything. That makes us less pay. So I also took the cone because why not? And actually always take cones in dumpsters and such. Yeah. So I actually regret not making a video because man, I had much. That's the reason I started making. I went dumpster diving videos. So we got this cone. I don't know where this cone came from. This cone comes from other place. They're having it in the front yard, and they said one of their kids brought it home from work, and they actually had to call their kid, and he said the kid went. Well, actually, it was an adult, but he lived still with parents. So the parents said, "Well, it's for my son." And then the mother said, "Well, I can call him." And then they called him. Well, they have this guy that collects traffic cones, and he would like to have your cone. And the son said, "Oh, yeah, he can have it." And then they said, "You can have it because he thinks it's really funny. You collect traffic cones." And I went, "Okay." And I got this cone. So then I got this blue cone. I traded it with one of these cones. I don't know, one of these cones, like the gardener cone. And yeah, that's how I got that cone. Then we got this cone. I used to work at hardware store, and they were placing Tesla charging stations, and there were cones with the Tesla logo on it, but they wouldn't give that to me because they have the logo on it and everything special, but they gave this one to me instead. So we got the green cone over here. This green cone comes a few years back. Someone knocked down a lamppost with his vehicle in our street, and they had going to place it. And I said, and I actually went by, and I saw a green cone in their truck bed, and I asked, "May I have that green cone?" And they said, "We don't have a green cone. It's probably colored by the sun." And I said, but they went like, "Yeah, you can have it. It's not the same color, so you can have it." And I went like, "Alright, it had stripes, but I pulled the stripes off. It was a bit the same looking as this, and I didn't like the look, so I pulled off the stripes." Then we got this cone. This cone, I don't know. I think my neighbor gave this one to me. That neighbor is actually moving. My neighbor does photographing, and he gave this one to me. This is my second big cone, and I got to bring back home with a school bus. Well, actually, it's a small bus where 8 people fit in, and we drove past people in houses. They were reconstructing the house, and I asked bus driver, "May I stop here? I want to ask if I can have one of the cones." And so the bus driver opened one of the windows and asked, "Excuse me, miss, may I have one of your cones? I collect traffic cones." I said, "Oh no, sadly we need them ourselves. And this one is it was far away, so I won't be going biking there." And then the next time we went there, she was waiting for us on the bus, to wait for the bus to come by with a cone. And she said, I told my husband, you collect traffic cones, and he thought, hey, that's something I never heard before. So he decided, you can have one. So that's how I got this cone. This cone comes from the water. It was laying in a kennel, and I found it. I already cleaned it a bit. You can see, I'm going to clean it this summer again. But once a year, the cones must be cleaned. And it's from the same company as that other cone. So, yeah. Then we got this cone. This cone comes also from the company my dad works at. They used to rent, the company my dad works at, they had a big lot of land. And they used to rent it to other people. And there was a farmer there was a Dixie company, that's a portable potty. And they had a stack of cones. And when as customer you can ask if you got a cone with your porta potty, and they were kicked off because the company is building a new thing there. So they had a construction dump, and this cone was in it. The rest of the cones had stripes, so probably because it doesn't have stripes, but yeah, this comes from a company my dad works at. Then we got this cone. This cone comes from a dumpster. When I was at my grandma's place, same as these little cones and small cones. Not the garage, this was from I think it was from a garage, I don't know. Oh, it actually has some roadwork symbols on it. It's cool. Didn't saw it before. I don't know. I forgot where it was, but these were in the dumpster. I could have taken them out of the dumpster. They were in the court. So let's go to the black-based ones. So when you get black-based cones in the Netherlands, you have these ones. These are plastic cones with a big plastic face on them. These aren't cool. These are cool because they are not rare. They are hard to get because people don't want to trade or something like that. So we got this cone. This is my first. No, this one is my first black base cone. That's because actually someone dropped it off by my home. I didn't really get it. It had a nail driven through it, or yeah, it had a screw through it. So there is a hole because there is a screw through it. You scared the hell out of me, you stupid bird. Then we got this one. I actually found this one, and I found it didn't have a base, and I actually found the base for it. Yeah, that's cool. Then we got this one. This comes from the same dumpster as the one in the rack, and the other one, the bottom one, and this one, yeah. Hey, this is from the same company as they got that red cone, red barrier. Yeah. So yeah, those were the big cones, but I won't be doing those in a minute, as I have not much space. So let's just clean up those cones, and let's start with those. And let's start with the rest of the big cones. So here we got this one. There's a crow or a raven. There's a big bird. Really big bird. Let's see if I can find it. I can't see it now. Huh. There was a really big bird flying over, landing on the roof. This cone comes from a guy that sells stuff, and I asked if I could have this one, and he went to court because I didn't have a cone like this with no stripes. Then we got the burnt blue one. I found this one after New Year's Eve. Probably got used to launch fireworks, or people just burned it and was in a pile of fireworks and was burned and was disgusting. I cleaned it a bit, but not completely. And found it in waste of. Oh no. Firework shit. So then we got the pink one. This one comes from a dumpster, and yeah, I like the pink cone a lot because yeah, it's pink. Then we got this cone. This is my first these type of cones, and I got this from a garden shop. Yeah, and then this one I also got, but not from a garden shop. This I got from in my town. There were people doing something with scaffolding, and I asked if I could have one because I had a really large stack. And I only asked when they have a large stack or are almost done. So they gave this one to me. Then we got this one. This is the same cone as that, but it's a bit more rounded edges, and yeah. Then we got the black base injection molded one. This is actually the coolest cone I probably have so far. Or not? No, not yet. So yeah, that's the big cone. And I got it at a place they were like constructing something, and they had a big stack, and I asked if I could have it, and they said yes. So snail, go off. So I got this. I hate the smell of cat shit. It's smelling real bad right now. So we got this one. The real skinny cone. So there was a plot where they had some buildings because they were building a new road, and there was like some kind of headquarter, and they had a stack where they had a thing where they put all cones, and I saw this skinny one, and I asked if I could have the skinny one, and they said yes, so I got the skinny one. It's a bit broken, sadly, but I hope I can do something about that. I hope so, actually, because it is a cool cone, and I hope, yeah, it's a cool cone, and I'm really lucky. But the last time there was some company painting the flats near my home, and they had also skinny cones, but they didn't want to trade or something like that because they needed the skinny cones so they can recognize the cones, and people suddenly walk around with random cones. This cone is really old. I got it almost 3 years now. So yeah, so I'll be doing the tall cones and the barriers next. So now we got the tall cones. Let's start with the tallest I have. So this is a maxi cone from UK. Don't know if you can read it. These are super rare. Because I heard they stopped making them. So, and there was a farmer, and they had a few cones, and I saw this really large one. I asked if I could have it, and there's a spider. Spider. And I asked if I could have it, and he said yes. Then we got these two poles. So this one, when they were replacing the roads, they didn't. I asked for a cone, and they gave me a cone, and they gave me this pole because the pole is going to run away because it's broken, and they are placing other poles that go in and out the ground. And we got this pole. This pole has been replaced by the city itself, by my town. I don't know what it's called, county, right? The county or C dot. I don't know what to call it. Probably some Google Translate doing that. Yeah, so they're replacing this one. I asked if I could have it. They said, yeah, you can have it. And same for this one. Then we got the wet floor cone. This one comes from Aldi. If you're wondering why I got it or why they gave it away, so me and my friend, so that's me and my friend we were going to a fantasy market, And after that, we needed some things in the grocery shop. So we went to the Aldi, and my friend asked jokingly, maybe we should ask for a wet floor sign. And I said, oh, all right. I went up to the nearest employee I saw, and I asked, may I have one of those wet floor signs if you have spare ones? And they said, the employee says like, yes. Went to the magazine, or I don't know what it's called, back back with this one. I actually had to clean it. You know how disgusting this cone was. So disgusting. It was sticky on all four sides. It was sticky on here. There were I cleaned it at when we arrived at this place. Every month we go to a place in some kind of forest, a bungalow park. Let's call that. And as soon as I come home, I started cleaning this thing real hard. So yeah, those are the stories of the cones, and let's do the barriers next. So I started with the beacon. So this is not my first beacon. My first beacon was the black beacon, but yeah, this beacon comes from the water. As you can see, it's a bit disgusting, and this company does road technique, and I found this one in the water. I don't know how far it came or how far people took it, but it came from the water. Next cone. Then we got this light blue one. I traded it with one of these white cones. They're white because I got a white one and I traded it for a blue one because I didn't have the color yet. And we go over to the white one. This one was my second beacon. This one, there was a company and they had all sorts of different types of cones. Like they bought them second hand or used. They buy a lot. You can buy a lot of used of these cones, of these beacons, and then you can use them yourself. But I got this one. They said, yeah, you can have it, and that's how I got this one. And we go over to the black one. This one is my first beacon ever. As you can see, there's a different type. You can see it is gray. There also are black ones, but I didn't manage to get my hands on one of these. Also, if I can, this was from asphalting company, so they were doing some asphalt doing, and I asked if I could have one when they were cleaning up the cones, and they were like picking out the cones. I asked if I could have one, and they said yes. Also the place where they picking up the cones, you can see it on Google Maps, and then you can see the cone still standing there. So that's hopefully. This is from the same company. I also got those two other cones from the water company. This cone was in a dumpster, probably because it got broken, and they put in a PVC pipe, probably so you can put it in round round bases, because you also have these round bases, you have round tops, and then also you can put it with the square hole in the square. This one comes from a dumpster, and it's from the water company. Please don't fall. So this is the white cone. This cone is really heavy. This one, I keep calling it cone. It's beacon. When I was little, I used to call them flat cones. But this one has, when you get the real old ones, they have literally a metal, the inside is literally metal. So this one is real old. As you can see, it completely doesn't have the striping anymore. You can see what was red, not. But it's completely decolored by the sun. Please don't fall along. Then we got this one. This cone with the base comes from the water. The base was in the water and the beacon too. and it has been in the water for 3 months, and after 3 months I got, oh, it's mine now. So I got it, and that's how I got the base too. So yeah, that was it. Please like and subscribe. Just also pay a visit to 1010 the Traffic Man, Traffic Cone Jam, Barricade Paradise, for wet floor signs, buses and more. That floor sign in 2 Fiest. Leland the Custodian you also have. Go pay a visit, go watch their videos, go subscribe to them to pay support for the Traffic Cone Collector. And I see ya.